Coach, introduce yourself to the fans.
Hello, my name is Coach Otis Hughley, head men's basketball coach at Alabama A&M University. Excited to be that.
So, early season non-conference games. What will you learn from your team in those early season contests?
Well, we'll learn at what pace they're growing and developing, and it will give us the accurate information that we need to utilize and build upon going forward.
Also, from a fan's perspective, during your home games, what can we do to help the team?
Televise, exposure. Really talk about it in advance and sell the product as it is, because it's a really, really good product. And it's the athletes that are, no matter who we play night in and night out, it's going to be a great night of basketball, a good family night. It'll be exciting. You'll want to come back. You'll want to tell someone else to come back with you.
Now, because I'm new to the swag, a lot of Alabama A&M fans are telling me I need to come to the game to experience the game.
That's right.
Last season, I missed out, and everybody let me know. This season, we'll make sure we get up there and come see y'all play. Thank you again for stopping by Fat Mouth Sports. We will be in contact. We're definitely going to get you on the show.
My pleasure.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you. That's the guy you need to talk to. Them two right there. Them the two.
So the two coaches he was talking about at the time was Coach Jones at Texas Southern and Coach Mo from Jackson State. So those are two coaches that he was talking about. The reason that we ran that particular segment was because it seems Coach may no longer be the coach of Alabama A&M soon. Again, these are rumors on the street, but you know there is a blueprint. First, there is a leak to see how people react.
So I thought that the resignation was already submitted. Because this isn't like a typical firing.
No, this was my understanding is that as of an hour ago, my understanding was that there was a resignation request. I have not been in the socials and to see if there's been any updates, but yeah.
This is your atypical move aside, or we'll move you aside.
Okay.
And in today's day and age, that's probably the most respect you're gonna get from an organization. You know, as sad as it may be, you know, do you make them fire you? Do you stand on business? Or do you take the gentleman's way out and go ahead and be, you know, and allow them to move you aside? Me personally, you're going to have to fire me. I will not go quietly into that good night.
So that, you know, that's kind of where we are right now. It is, we will continue to watch for official news. During the podcast, I try to check and see if anything has been announced that we may need to talk about. So if it happens while we're on stream, we'll have that discussion. Also, rival coach Miss Frida Jackson at Alabama State is retiring after 26 years. She has earned her retirement. She earned every one of her stripes in the SWAC. So congratulations to you, Coach.
You got to say the whole name. Frida
Freeman Jackson.
And I appreciate, you know, because there's power in the name. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So Frida Freeman, you know, which what it was originally, she wasn't gonna let that heritage go. And
nope.
You know, I understand, because if you've ever studied, you know, Black history, you'd understand where the name Freeman comes from. These were some of the first slaves that either by force or earned their freedom. So that it means a lot. And hate to see it go. Legacy has been submitted.
Yeah. So again, congrats, coach. I don't ever know what to say to a coach when they're retiring, because it's like, you're always looking for their next act, but sometimes you get to ride off in the sunset. You don't need another act. You did everything you needed to do. So congrats to coach.
I mean, I would love to see her come back as like a consultant. Kind of like what Pat Riley. He may not be on the sideline coaching, but he got his hands in it. You know what I mean? He's still a part of the game, because there's certain people that like we don't want to see leave the game.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like Greg Popovich. When it's time for him to, hang up the whistle, pick up some paperwork and still help the organization that you've already given your life to.
Man. You know what? We'll go to some NBA first and come back, because we definitely got to come back, because there's some big stuff happening in college, but we're going to come back. I need to take this time out to pat myself on the back and say, I told you so. I told you Luka couldn't play no defense, and now we finding out. He a traffic cone. Absolute traffic cone. They got
my God.
First they got 30 put on them by the Chicago Bulls. 30 piece. It is this scene in Trading Places where the two old dudes keep yelling, Sal. Listen, bench everybody. Tank for the rest of the season. Get you a good playoff spot. Because all that Lakers in 5, Fugazi. I told you so. And then they got beat by the Orlando Magic. Orlando Magic can't play dead in the Cowboy movie. They got beat by the Orlando Magic.
They're not a bad team. That's not a bad team. Neither are the Lakers. Let's start there. You need to worry about your Knicks over there with no Brunson. You need to hush. Okay. The GOAT just got back. You need to relax. Okay. You wasn't speaking none of this the first 9 games when they was playing together. You had nothing to say. Nothing.
I
want to hear this
from day one.
He had nothing to say in the first 9 games that they played. Nothing.
Did I not say they can't play defense?
And now that they play stinky and he just got back, now he got something to say. No.
DK came firing off the hip. That's all I'm gonna say. Take me off. Let's talk about it.
All right.
And so he absolutely right. Nah, Troy, nah. We gotta talk about it. We gotta talk about it because where we at now? You can't Tootsie slide out of this one.
They lose. What do you want me to say? They losing. And they
you are right. I will give you that. You are absolutely right. But this is something that we've known about Luka, or like in the sense that like he's not the world's greatest defender. But I don't think that's why the Lakers are like, you know what? Yeah, you know what? Let's go ahead and trade our defensive dude that could score to go get this guy. They know what they were getting out of Luka. I'm sure they knew that. The thing is that they just got to get back on the right track. You're absolutely right. They're losing and they're not playing defense. You're absolutely right.
I mean, the other guys on the team that they expected to play defense are gonna have to play defense because you didn't
remember the trade got rescinded
to play defense.
Remember they had a trade for Charlotte's big guy, and it got rescinded.
Yeah, but the thing is though, the Jackson Hayes again in the first 9 games when everybody was healthy, Rui was good. That was the other thing too. Rui came back too the other night with LeBron. That was random. Like that's another piece that is an integral part to their so-called playoff run that needed to have some run. Like they just needed to gel together. Jackson Hayes has been playing really well with Luka. He's actually been playing really well. Mark Williams is good, but he hasn't been that bad. Jackson Hayes has been oddly good.
Until they start losing to teams like the Kings, you know what I mean?
They lost to the Bulls. What are you talking?
That one was to me a little bit, even with them not having certain pieces, that was a little bit inexcusable. But
Yeah.
This is why you got to go out there and play the games. I feel like you got to go out there and play the games. This is why these things happen.
I think Luka puts pressure on your backline defenders because they know he's getting blown by. They
Yeah,
know they got to
absolutely.
come off of their guy, and
I gotta see.
they
who
come off of
played
their
that
guy,
day.
and they got to make shooters, or they got to get back out on shooters, and that's the problem that they're gonna have. And
Yeah,
LeBron
that
can't
one
play
26. God.
40 minutes every game during the playoffs. That's not going to be sustainable. So
No, I think.
Oh, Braun played that day too. Oh Lord. Oh, I ain't see, and this Detroit. This is exactly why I said you're absolutely right. I needed some positivity for their first 9 games. But you're absolutely right that Bulls game is inexcusable.
listen, we got a whole bunch of stuff going on. JJ Redick, brand new coach. Everything looked good till the playoffs. When you get close to the playoffs, when these teams trying to squeeze their way in, all your tendencies that they was going to expose in the playoffs, they exposing now because they're trying
But
to get in.
it's gonna be good though. It's gonna be good because the Denver Nuggets are not all the way healthy. Like they got a good squad, but they're not healthy. The Rockets are young. The only team that's like, and they're kind of beat up too, is the Thunder. Like everybody got something that they're dealing with. Like the Memphis Grizzlies, they were up at 2 at a high point. They're down to 5. They got stuff they got to deal with. Ja's okay and good, but I think he's been missing a couple of games recently. Yeah. Jaren Jackson went down before that. So literally every team in the NBA that's in this playoff hunt got something to figure out.
I just have to say, AD is back.
Man, y'all go ahead and sit there at the 11 seed while my sons take this 10 seed real quick, Doc. Y'all go ahead and get that lottery pick. Lay down. Please lay down.
DK
I don't need the allegations.
DK over there praying for a play-in.
I need my sons to beat these allegations, TP.
He's praying for a play-in.
I'm getting the play-in game, brothers. He's back.
Hey, if they do, God bless them. They tied right now, which is crazy.
I don't see Dallas getting it. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, we're going to get that last playoff spot.
I wonder if they're going to fight for it, though, because they put out lineups where it's like, we're not going to fight for it. And then they put out lineups where it's like, we coming to hoop. I don't know what they doing. They confusing me, but I get AD not playing back-to-back nights. That not playing tonight absolutely makes sense.
Nah, you don't want to rush him. You don't want to put him back in there for back-to-back and stuff like that. You want to
absolutely
ease him back in. So I guess the next game we play either tomorrow or on Thursday, he'll be in the lineup.
Yeah, I'm sure Thursday.
We're gonna get that last playoff spot. I don't know what you're talking about, TP, bro.
Man.
That last playoff spot. and if Lord willing, we'll probably move on up. We ain't number like 5.5, 6 games behind the Warriors, though. If you really think about it.
No, I know what it is.
But now, how many games left? How many games?
Y'all know what? Y'all enjoy having all these conversations. We are in 3rd, and I'm ready to fire the coach.
See, it don't even make
sense.
How long is
Brunson out? How long is Brunson out?
I don't know.
He's probably out for another 2 weeks. So it's been a week and a half, like another 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks.
And so you ready? And you ready to cry?
Did we not have one of the starters on the team, Mikal Bridges, say, "Hey, you playing the starters too much? Play some of them guys on the bench." And this the dude that's been averaging like 37 minutes a game his whole career. And when he say, "Yo, dog, you playing us too much," I think we did the minute rundown one night. And it was like everybody that started and like 2 other people had like 30 minutes and everybody else had 3. Why are you in the NBA playing 3 minutes?
I look at it like this, man. They got an opportunity to clinch a playoff spot early. What they should do is once they clinch their playoff spot, now we start scaling it back. Position in the playoffs don't matter if you get eliminated in the first round. So you scale it back, you let your guys get healthy, and then you get some of these bench players some minutes, some actual minutes, see if they can compete. Because I'll tell you what, if you go the way that you've been doing these past years, thinking that your starters are just going to take you all the way to a championship, it's not going to happen. No team that has won the championship in the last 10 years did it solely based on their starters. And that's facts.
We got a 3-game lead on the team behind us, the Indiana Pacers. Like, seriously, play some other people. And all this, well, I want to see Cat and the big dog together. No, the big dog need to be on the bench. He need to be chilling, resting up. He need to be fresh for the playoffs. Because
but there's then it creates a balance then, right? Like for instance, like tonight, right? I'm looking at the minutes played by the bench. Quite honestly, if I'm you, with like, obviously keeping the balance of wanting to play the bench guys and also wanting to win the game, you got Precious Achiuwa, Landry Shamet, and Tyler Kolek, the rookie. I don't know if he's a rookie or second-year player. I'm not really too sure. I know he's kind of fresh out of college. After that, you got PJ Tucker, who hasn't played, Kevin McCullough, Anton Watson, DeLon Wright. You want any of them dudes on the court either? I ain't gonna lie. If it's me,
Tucker got to see the flow. If nothing else but to hurt somebody.
Well, no.
We can't just
maybe throw a couple minutes, but like I guess in this particular situation and scenario against Dallas, right? There's no Mitchell Robinson and no Brunson, so it kind of moves Miles McBride up, right? So it kind of, I feel like, and he's not playing either. Miles McBride ain't playing either. He's out. So it now he's got to put himself in the predicament of having to play this way, because now you're possibly jeopardizing a win because you have to play another guy that may not be ready, or G League or dude who has to get a significant amount of minutes. It's the NBA. You got to give people opportunities at some point. But I'm saying, right, because I feel like you wanted them to catch the Celtics at some point or another, right? I don't know how many games are left, but that's not. I don't know.
They are the standard, right?
Yeah.
I mean, even as well as Cleveland has played, you got to look at the defending champion. They are the standard. So if you are prepared to beat them, to face the defendant, because like we always say, to be the champion, you got to beat the champion. So if you ain't even prepared to beat them, what are we doing?
We are 9 games back behind Boston. We're not catching Boston, right?
I ain't talking about catching Boston regular season record wise. I'm talking about can we compete come playoff time?
So now that question, TP, I think they got it. They got it. Because it's unfortunate that go ahead.
Mitchell Robinson and Cat in jail.
And that's gonna be fine. They don't need to gel though. They don't need to gel because they need to just balance the minutes out. And I personally think it's good that Mitchell Robinson isn't playing tonight because, to your other point, keep him rested and healthy. That's fine. Sorry, Doc, if you listening. The weaker Dallas Mavericks without Anthony Davis tonight. Let Mitchell Robinson get some rest. Cool. Now, I think it's a matter of if Thibodeau could play Achiuwa, Shamet, Miles McBride, and Mitchell Robinson. Oh, he could go 9 deep in the playoffs. He just got it. It's up to him to give them. And I think all 4 of them guys deserve minutes in the playoffs. And that should be enough to get the guys the adequate amount of rest to get the job done. That's just me.
So just come across the news line.
Damian
Lillard is out indefinitely with blood clot in his leg, in his calf.
Man, that's tough.
Yeah,
that's real tough.
Blood clot's not a joke.
No,
they're not a joke.
Not Jamaican.
Begs the question: either is this a good thing because we're catching a lot of them, or is there something actually going on that I wonder?
I mean, with
Or maybe it's just by chance.
you talked about like with the Wemby situation as well.
Yeah, Wemby, Dame. There was another guy on the. I think he's on the Hawks now, but he was on the Cavs. Karis LeVert when he got traded a couple years back. Obviously, we all know Chris Bosh. So, like, I'm wondering, like,
I wouldn't necessarily say it's an epidemic because, you look at the sample size.
Right.
The 1,000 people that played in the NBA in the last 20 years, 4 people, have suffered blood clots. But it is a good thing to catch it before, it's a life-threatening disorder.
Right.
And if it goes unchecked, it can kill you. Like, that's the seriousness of it. So I think especially athletes, you have to pay attention to your body. Like, we should, just because, like, if you care about your health, you should be paying attention to yourself, because your body isn't going to lie to you. And if you're not listening, then, when you finally are forced to go get a diagnosis and they tell you that now it's terminal when you had a chance to catch it early, you wasn't listening to yourself. So this is a message for everybody, not just athletes. You have to pay attention to your body. I'm getting older. My wife tells me all the time, how you feeling? Like, is everything okay? Like, do you need to go get checked out? You know what I mean? And I don't always take her advice, but at the same time, I pay attention to myself. And I haven't felt anything that I felt was serious. If you feel something that you think even might be serious, you need to go get it looked at.
So this is just like, for those that know and been watching the show, I am literally waiting to go to an MRI to see what the level of this prostate cancer is. And the only reason that I went to the doctor in the first place was I'm just randomly itching. And I can't figure it out. Oh, that's because you got diabetes. Oh, your PSA level high. I need you to go see a urologist. It all worked like that.
Mm-hmm.
So pay attention to your body.
Get your mentals checked.
For real.
Yeah.
Because, a lot of us got kids. Them kids ain't asked to be here. It is your job to take care of yourself, to make sure that they are taken care of. But, all right, y'all. Y'all rarely on this show are you going to see me in a forgiving mood. And I might be forgiving of Will Wade in his new job in North Carolina State. Now, for those that don't know, Will Wade was at LSU. And Will Wade was caught on a wiretap talking about getting players' money. And then said it wasn't him. And refused to talk to investigators.
You said she caught me on the camera. It
Wasn't me.
All right, Shaggy. That's his new name. His new name is Shaggy.
Again, I'm trying to forgive him, even though he was negotiating his new job while McNeese State was headed to the NCAA tournament. He said this during his introduction video. I'd be lying if I told you I thought 3 years ago that I knew an opportunity like this would happen again. I did not. I'm thankful. Let me tell you something. Whoever that man agent is, that need to be your agent.
G. That's a G.
That need to be your agent. Because for your agent to walk into a meeting going, I know he was on the wiretap, but let me tell you why you should hire him. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. But
diabolical.
Congrats to Will Wade, I guess, where other coaches with squeaky clean records can't get jobs, but you keep getting
That man
new
had a
jobs.
12 seed as he had led the team, led McNeese to a 12 seed from the Southland. You don't really hear that coming
He
from that
can
conference.
coach. He can coach. Coaching
He
was
just
never his problem.
he just do idiotic things. But I understand what he was talking about with the wire tap. Like, bro, you trying to get his players some money. I mean,
Right.
he probably
Amen.
Listen,
he trying to get his players some money. He probably getting paid on the side. He's gonna get paid on the side too. Come on now. Cause guess what? Let's segue to this one. Troy, Texas hires ex-Xavier head coach Sean Miller.
oh, we was gonna get to that one. That dude, I don't listen. I hope the kids at Texas are excellent. I hope they do well. I don't want Sean Miller to win nothing. I don't want him to win hopscotch, pinochle, spades, none of it.
Not even a game of hopscotch. God,
The coaches that was in that era that got caught, all of them except one showed a level of contrition and a level of I'm
Who's the
sorry.
one that showed the level of who's the only one that showed the level of contrition?
Will Wade did. He didn't. Will Wade did. Sean Miller was just. I'm sorry, and that dude at Auburn, that dude at Auburn just.
That dude at Auburn, the disrespect.
Bruce Pearl
Started early.
told the administration he not gonna be investigated. Who does that?
Apparently he do because he sure didn't get investigated.
He didn't get investigated. He kept his job.
Yup, and then NIL came around. Saved. God bless.
So,
NIL saying a lot of these old ass coaches. I'm sorry.
Well,
hey,
the government. It was that was the Trump administration, and the Trump administration had just came in, and they really wasn't trying to make the NCAA the boogeyman, so they pushed them investigations. And I mean, the court case for the agent didn't even go to court for what, 6 years, and they got probation. I think they all got probation. I think maybe the rifleman, Chuck Person, I think he might have did like a 30-day stint in jail and then was on probation. But nobody really did no serious time for that because all the stuff that's involved. None of the kids got in trouble. So I mean, the feds at the time was not interested in pursuing anybody but the few people that they pursued, which was crazy. But again, there's some people out there that I don't want them to win nothing. I don't feel bad about it. It's not anything personal, but you are the representative of kids. You are the role model for men becoming or young men becoming adults, and you out here wilding, like literally breaking laws, but let a player drive their Charger into a car. Oh, we screaming bloody murder. So fair is fair.
Tell Georgia stop letting the damn kids drive their fucking cars.
Man, listen. It's funny to me that the University of Florida be making fun of Georgia players. I'm sorry. Y'all got a decade and a half of your teams being on the police block. Like, relax when you start throwing stones. Just relax. But anyway, but y'all came here tonight because the House settlement salvo has caused its first casualty. And for those who don't know, St. Francis, who just lost in the play-in game with the NCAA tournament, the Alabama State said, "We done. We not playing no more. We taking our ball and going home. We ain't going D2. We going to where we don't have to offer scholarships at all. They going all the way down to D3."
St. Francis?
St. Francis announced today they are going to D3.
Yep, St. Francis, the same team that got a mascot that look like Gargamel.
So for those football fans who don't know, they are in the NEC and FCS football. That now drops that conference from 8 teams to 7.
Mama.
They need to find somebody. Correct me if I'm wrong, Doc. They got to find somebody to keep their automatic qualifier, right? I think, if I'm
Who
not
won that
mistaken,
conference?
NEC. Hold on.
Northeast Conference. Yep, they gotta so
And I will.
they have to have at least 18 to be an automatic qualifier for the FCS playoff. And then you have 10 teams to do a conference championship game.
That's crazy. Oh, wow.
I love how my phone just moving at a pedestrian pace. So the NEC has Central Connecticut. Chicago State is a full member, but their football team isn't up and running yet. They are working on that. FDU, that's what it is. Chicago State will allow them to keep their automatic qualifier because that will be the 18. But it's Central Connecticut, Chicago State, FDU, Lemoyne, LIU, Maryhurst, St. Francis U, Stonehill, and
Right.
Wagner. St. Francis, you can take off that list. So
Wow, that's crazy. But they didn't have a football team, did they?
yes, they do.
Oh,
They have a football team.
They won't no more. I don't know no deep. Well, they may. Sure.
Now they'll still have a football team. They're just gonna play Division 3.
3, yeah.
Yeah, that's all it is. Like, and you got to think about the way things move in the off season. You know, we just saw we see the Pac-12 trying to rebuild their conference. You know, they got a lot of Mountain West guys coming over, so they're trying to replenish and hopefully secure media rights for that conference. You know, because we thought they were just going to go away because they were down to 2, but they didn't just go away. So like we've seen something like this before, but going from 18 to 7, you know, it's a hell of a drop. But there are schools that would be willing to come over if it means that they get more notoriety or more opportunities. So, you know, this could be a blessing in disguise.
Every school needs to understand. Unless you have some negotiate, like Morgan State negotiated their house settlement. I don't think they're paying $250. But everybody else, unless you see otherwise, is paying $250 for that portion of that house settlement. And that is just dead money. It ain't you don't get that money back. That's just dead money you throw away to the NCAA.
Well, you know, Morgan's got that money because they got the state gave them their money back and gave them money that was owed to them.
Oh, okay. So
I was saying the state gave Morgan State gave them, they got their money back from the state of Maryland because it was what was owed to them.
Mm-hmm.
So they got a piece of it, because I think it was like I think they got $1 billion or something like that?
Because they put that money to use.
Yeah,
that money is going to work.
And see the state not telling them what to do with the money either. So they're like, it's yours. But see, that's what happens when you got a state that it's a democratic ran state.
when you have a state that's friendly to HBCUs, that is what happens. I don't live in that state. I wouldn't know. I've been in Florida. You know what? Let me stop. Anyway, but amongst that, schools are going to have to determine whether or not they're serious about big time athletics. And by big time, I'm talking football, basketball, and in some institutions, softball and baseball. You are now going to have to start paying kids to come to your institutions. And can we please get out our feelings about this money? Can we? This ain't this. We got to get out our feelings about this money. I know in 1972, people played for the love. I know. I know in 85, everybody played strictly off the love of the game. Meanwhile, somehow in between that time, there were actually bag men that existed in that time frame. So while you were being told that players played for the love, players were getting paid, and so were we didn't call them agents then. We called them
Boosters.
family members and friends. They got paid also. And for anybody to get in their feelings about, oh, we shouldn't be paying no players, you're right. We shouldn't be giving the gold Trans Ams. We shouldn't have them on payroll. We shouldn't have them driving
or
around
have your or,
Tallahassee in Suburbans.
or have
Oh
your
yeah,
governor be in on the whole pay for play.
this is my personal favorite. See, a lot of people don't know, and since this coach just got his old job back, you'll figure it out. How you how you got players driving around in rental cars with the coach's name? How, and you got the job back? Boy, this
I
new
didn't
era
know
is
that was legal.
it is not. It is
I
not.
didn't think I didn't think it was.
So all of this going on, but you got a problem with players. And for the love of God, the number of players that are going to get $1 million plus is minute. It is infinitesimal. It is the smallest of small numbers. I am trying to get an NIL agent on the show, but he will not come nowhere near a show until after the portal closes. And I know why. Because that other dude went on the show and messed it up for everybody because he told them lies. But it's listen,
That
most of these
wouldn't be.
kids.
It wouldn't be considered tampering, would it?
No, it's not that. It's that if you're negotiating in NIL deals, you don't want to come on the show and say something to piss off the people that you're negotiating with. Because
Right.
again, a lot of these people have the mindset that these kids don't deserve the money. They're just doing this because it's the price of doing business. And it ain't just HBCUs, it's PWIs. My institution is doing it too. So nobody's immune, nobody's safe. Like I tweeted earlier today, I'm not gonna play with y'all. You either gonna get serious about athletics or you're gonna get gone. Because you're gonna get your head beat in. If you don't believe me, ask the University of Miami basketball program. Their coach quit because the NIL collective was not serious about basketball. Now you see all these Miami players in the portal. It's a lot of them. You got to determine whether or not we're serious about athletics.
So did Miami just lose their funding because they couldn't? I think that's I because look, you got to think about it. Miami done had a bag man before bag man was even known about. They had a bag man. You know, Michael Irvin ain't gonna say it, but we know they had a bag man. He was there. But now that it's what's the word mainstream, now you ain't got the money. Now you ain't got an NIL collective. Oh, because your NIL collective wanted to stay faceless.
There, so the guy that is the head of the company that owns Life Wallet, If you know about not Blackwell, you know they've had a bit of a rough patch right now. He is on social media decrying all the great things that he's gonna help Miami do. And for us that have been following Florida sports, one thing Miami don't have to do is talk about what they're gonna spend on athletics. They just do it, and we just watch. When Miami football is great, there's no question about if they spending money. You know they spending money by the caliber of athletes that are on that field. Last year, Miami had a great offense, and that's it.
That defense was suspect at best.
When Miami went to the
You
Final
said,
Four,
you said,
oh, go ahead, Doc. Well, when Miami went to the Final Four, they had the money to build that team. They no longer have that money. And when the men's basketball coach says he is stepping down, he's stepping down because players are asking for money. They're asking for money because they were promised that money. Players don't generally ask for, oh, I just want $1 million out of the blue. That ain't how that works. That don't even make sense.
Joe Kim Noah said they was basically paying to go play.
So, like, we need to understand where we are, right? And then there are going to be ACC coaches that get fired. I think one just got fired today, if I'm not mistaken. You're getting fired because you can't just be in the middle of the pack, because that revenue share is different now. Basically, the top 2 or 3 teams that have wins, viewership, revenue, those are going to get the biggest share of the revenue share from the media rights deal. So if you're a president and you are Wake Forest or you are Stanford or Cal, no, your coach can't have a losing season. It's costing you money.
And those are private universities. So a lot of people don't understand the difference between a private and a public university. A private university has to have its own funding. Public, they get their money from the states. And with the abolishment of the Department of Education and the funds being back allocated to the state to divvy down to the schools, those public universities may not get as much funding for their NIL collective, but just based on that. So it's going to have to come from individual boosters, alumni, and entities such as that if they want to be able to compete. See, Oregon is both a public university and they have NIL donations from Nike. So they get best of both worlds. That's why Oregon is thriving. You know, but everybody don't have that luxury.
The number one thing that people need to understand in this age is that the guy that is going to be the most important guy or girl, man or woman, it's going to be the most important person to a university and big time athletics is the booster who thinks that their influence is not enough. So they're going to go to a collective and say, hey, I need this, and this done. Here go the money to do it. So if your head football coach has all of the backing from the Florida State administration and a big time donor to one of the collectives says, I'm not dealing with another losing season. I've had enough. I'm not giving another red cent till we get a new coach. What you think gonna happen? So the dude that wasn't important last year is now important this year.
But this is why we have a board of trustees. This is why we have the Department of Commerce. because there are people that have to come to an agreement. Because if you have a dictatorship situation where the athletic director can make all decisions, and it's based strictly on how that person feels, you get put in these boxes where the coach is just there because of their relationship with the AD. And the AD isn't listening to the boosters. They're not listening to the people that's actually, engraved into the situation. You know what I mean? Like Troy is engraved into Florida State. So the things that he has to say should be heard, just like a lot of the other alumni who have agreed with the things that he has said. And you look at the situation that you're in now, well, maybe start listening to the people that's telling you this ain't the right thing to do, because what you're doing isn't working. And for the smaller schools that don't necessarily have the financial backing, if you even want the financial backing, then you have to listen to your trustees. You have to listen to the people that are invested. When I invest my money, look, let me tell you the first rule of investment: return. That's it. If I invest, I expect a return. And that's the bottom line.
$12 million to a football team NIL, and they won 2 games. Did that man get a return on his investment?
Nope.
Absolutely not.
I got a question.
Uh-huh.
How can a coach who took over a successful coach at a real get another job as a new head basketball coach? I'm trying to figure that out.
So, all right. So there have been a few situations recently. And I know one in particular. If we're talking about the UNLV job. The UNLV job, let's just keep it a buck. And this is unheard of. Vegas, the University of Nevada, Las Vegas can't afford big time athletics right now. And they're trying to hang on until they get a lifeline. Point blank, period.
Actually, interesting.
Because remember, they made it known that they can barely afford to pay their football coach 2 more years. And he just got that job. He got a 4-year contract.
UNLV is a public university.
That's crazy.
So,
and it's in a county that is in the bottom. Like Clark County is, I live here. And this is something that, that I got to think about when it comes to my kids. The public school system here is ranked in the bottom 5 in the United States. And a lot of that has to do with the funding that's allocated to the public schools here, including the university. Although Nevada is a red state, Clark County is a very blue district that doesn't necessarily invest in the public school district or the public school system, including the university. That is why they are having the struggles they are having.
But what I'm asking is this: how can you get the coach that was at Memphis, where he won, but off the players from John Calipari, to get let go from Memphis because he had 3 abysmal seasons. Because that's how you get penny coming. That's how you get penny aboard, right? Then he goes down to good old Georgia Tech. After Paul Hewitt has some successful seasons there, and pretty much was under 500 as a head coach there. How in the hell does he get the job at UNLV? Which to me, I feel like is one of the more premier jobs as as a mid major.
I think UNLV just became a prime location, to be honest, because in past years they barely scratched the surface is even finishing 500. They this was the most success they've had. So I think we're seeing a culture shift, and he brought that with him. So they would be wise to find the funds to fulfill his contract.
I ain't worried about the money. I'm just worried about a coach who, quote me if I'm wrong, and DK, go ahead and try to see if you can fact check this, right? Josh Patton. He was wrong. He was on the team at his high school. I don't even think he played a lick on that in the season, but he's an analytical guy. He was on. Now I remember when he was at Arizona, right? He was at Arizona. Did he even get on the court at Arizona?
This was who?
Josh Patton.
Yeah, UNLV new coach. Hold on.
I don't think so.
I'm just saying.
Oh, I know. I can tell you right now, he wasn't on the court.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I can
not
tell
without Miles Simon and Mike Bibby.
No, he
Right,
was
yeah,
he never saw the court. We can go ahead and end this right now. I remember that squad. He ain't see the flow. He ain't got to worry about it. We ain't got to fact check that. He ain't see the flow.
He was a glorified grad assistant coach for Luke Olson. He was basically a teacher's pet who did not play a lick of basketball, but he got a championship ring to show for.
So sometimes we need to have this honest discussion. Your relationships with people get you to where you are. Like I hate when I watch TikTok because I be seeing stuff. I'll be like, oh, that's true, but I forget to go back and like bookmark it. But somebody did a TV interview with a black guy, and he was saying that, well, it's not about the fact that all of the CEOs at the investment banks are from Harvard. It's the fact that the CEOs from the investment banks from Harvard went to Harvard and got relationships with people who went to Harvard and all the Ivy League schools. So that's why that's the bulk of their network. It's not what you know, it's who you know. And that is in life in general. And when you have some of these less than talented hires, we know that it's because of who they know. Now, I don't know who Mike Norvell knew at Florida State, so I don't know how he got that job. But again, it's about relationships. And anytime I can take a shot at my head coach, apparently I have no problem with taking it. But don't worry, God is working on me. Hopefully this season is better. And I won't have to worry about that. But speaking of Florida State basketball, we have more players in the portal. And I understand that the new coach wants his players and want to recruit his type of players. TP, if I see one more 5-star power forward or center, either in the portal or opening up his recruitment, y'all gonna need to pray for me.
You're not asking the right question. I don't think you're asking any questions at all. I think that was a statement.
It is. I really want to put. I don't. This coach has never coached in college. I don't know what he's doing, but when I see 5-star center released from his scholarship, everything in me want to fight because in college basketball, 5 stars don't just show up, and 7-footers just don't show up. Like they ain't a dime a dozen. The ones that's in the portal right now already got scholarships almost. They don't hang around long.
Why was he released from his scholarship?
I don't know.
Again, you're not asking the right question.
Who we talking about?
Florida State's 7'1", 5-star center that is reopening his recruitment. 4
Maybe-
or 5-star.
He was stinky. Maybe he actually ain't a 5-star.
Oh, okay. 7-footers. So I'm spoiled. I had a coach at Florida State that would mold 7-footers. He from high school.
No, you know what? Hey, hold on. I know what it is. This is Al Davis III. We don't care about actual talent. Are they athletic? Are they tall? Does he fit a mold? That's what they look. That's what Troy is looking for. Just like with his football team, it don't matter if he can he run a 4.2. Yeah, can he?
Yo, damn right.
We'll find out.
Damn right, TP.
Is he 7'1"? Yeah. Is he big? Yeah. Can he rebound? We'll find out. That is why. That
You right, TP. You got that right for sure. For sure.
He looks for molds.
I feel it. It makes sense.
You know what?
It makes sense though.
If Florida State don't want to appreciate them 7-footers, I would be more than happy for them to just go across Game Street and roll at Florida A&M. I would be more than happy. That's all Coach Craig would need. Shooters who can shoot threes and rebound. He would lose his mind. Absolutely lose his mind.
Why is my 7-footer shooting threes anyway?
I'm just saying.
You see my point.
He too used to Big Cat.
The guy that was mad that they went out and got Cat.
Yo, he too used to Big Cat though. Now he want his son to shoot threes.
Now he want his son to shooting threes.
And getting rebounds. You can't have both, Troy.
I think I can. I think I can have the best of both worlds.
In college basketball
breaks, you about to give up if your 7-footer is shooting threes and then crashing the boards.
Man, I'm not even finna lie. That used to be a concern of mine, and then Coach Square got me all hyped up. I'm like, no, let them things fly. 5 out, let them things fly. Let's go.
Al Davis the third, because we know his son is the second.
You know what? I'm gonna let that pass. So
and look, I'll say this because I was very skeptical of the Brock Bowers draft pick, but he's an actual football player. You know, y'all had more needs outside of a tight end, but I mean, he's a football player.
Yeah.
That's what you need on football teams. Stop just going after these guys that can run fast. We need football players. Track stars is a totally different sport. Not saying you can't be fast and be a football player, but if that's all you got, you know what I mean? Hayward Bay, you know.
Yeah. All right,
that's
so
just one of many.
Some more of a mea culpa.
Maybe before you go, Troy, ask that tight end from Miami.
Arroyo?
Cam, whatever his last name is. Was he running to
That
the
man,
food
27
place,
years old.
Was he running to go take a shit at the toilet?
Man.
At 27 years old, he still ran a faster 40 than Xavier Restrepo.
No,
that's crazy.
He ran a 6.0, bro.
That is wild.
Oh man.
No.
That man ran a what, 4.8, 4.9?
That's wild.
4.83.
And what's crazier is like I'm sitting here laughing at that, but he
And I'm gonna tell you, bro, he ran. He know he was slow and didn't get.
Not a lick.
Nah, he got quickness though. He got that sudden burst left to right. I mean,
Bro,
we
like,
got
I'm just out here doing something.
There is a Florida Gator somewhere still rehabbing his torn ACL from when he went against. He is still rehabbing his torn ACL from the day they played Miami. I mean, can it translate to the next level? I think he'll get on a team and slot merchant is the only thing he'll ever be able to do. You cannot line somebody up at 4.83 on the outside. You just can't do it. I try to give people the benefit of the doubt, but it's just not going to happen.
Not this time. No.
TP, we can put linebackers over him. He's not a threat.
Bro. Just don't put him on the outside. Slot merchant. Let him get the ball in space. And when I say space, he's gonna need a lot of it.
All right. So can we talk about listen, this is the problem when I have information, because now I see it and I gotta interpret it. And I have seen every single transfer, both women's basketball and men's basketball, every one of them that hit the transfer portal. I've seen every one of them. Of the 1,001 and some change that has hit the portal, about 400 to 500 got agents. Why?
Because they all go into the league.
You know.
Well, you got to think about it this way, though, Troy. Would you rather them mismanage the amount of money that they're getting by themselves, or would you rather them have somebody that's knowledgeable of doing so?
I really need to get this dude.
But what is knowledgeable? The transport portal is 24 months old.
No. I'm saying with the money that they have. No, with the money that they have, or whatever money that they're getting.
They haven't gotten this. The whole thing when they're in the transfer portal, everything is pie in the sky, right?
Right.
So here's the thing. So let's take the Xavier transfer, right? All right, you're leaving Xavier. You're leaving Xavier expecting to go where? Because
look at the dude that's leaving Harvard. Where do you think he going?
Unless you was lighting it up. Where you going?
I mean, honestly, when I look at some of these guys that have hit the transfer portal that weren't necessarily successful, I think they did it so they can go back a step and develop more because of this eligibility rule with junior colleges. So let's say
I thought that eligibility rule meant they had to start. Like, you have never touched a D1 campus. Your first day of school was at Tallahassee State College. Junco. You have never.
So if you go to a junior college,
straight out of high school, you have never been in anything near the NCAA, because the NCAA does not control junior college.
No,
then
what
you
I'm
get
saying,
all 4 years.
So let's say I started college and then I transferred, didn't find a home, took a whole year off. Did I lose a year of eligibility?
No, you don't lose a year. Yeah, that's great. The way
you see, but you get where I'm going, because is that the equivalent? And I don't think we know the full answer to that. Yeah, that's something that lawyers will have to. We need to do more research as far as that goes, because if a player can go back to a junior college, does that suspend his actual eligibility at the NCAA level?
Yeah, we used to call it a clock. Back in the day, you had a clock. So
your
clock started.
You
had a 4-year clock. So your clock started the day you played did your first practice. That's when your clock started. And now, man, that clock is like That clock is like menopause right now. We don't know what's going on.
Exactly. Which is what I'm saying.
I'm gonna tell you how wild it is. Outside of the 27-year-old tight end, you have basketball players that are still in college, and people who were in McDonald's All-American games with them are in pro with championships.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they're still in college.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Diabolical.
I enjoyed college, right? That was the best 5 years of my life. I did not. What? All your friends gone. Everybody gone. Everybody, you got some type of kinship. Or dang, we play AAU against each other or with each other. Is gone. You playing against their younger siblings.
Right.
You still
it's a whole new class. Like you're not even there with the freshmen that you.
No,
multiple new classes. Look
classes.
Again. Look at the 27-year-old tight end. He is 27 years old.
Yeah, that's out of pocket. The COVID
These
years.
Kids was born in what? 2004.
Yeah.
And you still in college.
The thing is, like, I think that dude in particular, he had the COVID year and he had got hurt another year.
He
had got redshirted.
COVID and another medical hardship.
So
no, he had multiple medical hardships. He's
right, he had
27, y'all.
Yeah, multiple.
Most people get out of college when they're 23, 24. He's 27.
Yeah. Again, out of pocket.
I mean, look at.
He should not have been in college when he got the COVID year. He should have already been gone.
Look at Stedman Bennett. He was 26.
Pierce. And she trying to get another year.
Listen.
Sedonia Pierce and Sabrina Ionescu were freshmen together. She's still in college.
That's crazy. It's crazy.
They played in Oregon.
How long Sabrina been in the WNBA?
She ain't. She's still in college.
Oh yeah, she's still in college.
Sabrina
and Sedona played in Oregon together. Sedona's still in college. She's at TCU and trying to get another year.
So Ionescu is in the league.
Ionescu is in the league. Ionescu has won a championship. And Ionescu got a signature shoe. Her teammate's still in college. Oh, I think this is a second school, third school. I can't remember. Still in college.
And that's the other thing. Like, again, me publicly okay with freedom of movement because I done seen some coaches do some terrible things. If you on your fourth school,
maybe it's you. Oh, I'm sorry. I said that out loud. I let my intrusive thoughts win.
No.
And it's but okay, so right. Let's just have an honest conversation, right? A lot of people want to say, oh, well, parents see the NIL bag and whatever. That group of people are small. Like we think let me tell you something. I'm just gonna keep it real with y'all. If Ash came to me and said, Daddy, I could play here or I could play there, but this school gonna give me an NIL bag, I'm gonna tell him, you don't have to make that decision because I went to college, so you can be okay. Where do you want to go?
What gives you the best opportunity for success in life?
NIL bag.
Because a lot of these NIL bags ain't what you think. Some kid might get 20,000. You might get 30. You might get 50. And if you think about it, that's a working wage for you. You know what I mean? That's a working wage for a year. Only a select few are getting millions. But I understand that being a collegiate athlete means that you don't have the opportunity to work. So it is an opportunity to make money while you're doing what you love to do.
Right.
So, but when you look at it in the grand scheme of things, if you don't need this little 20,000 just because they giving it to you, go somewhere where you can be successful.
And it's gonna be more parents that steer their kids that way because we got to keep it a buck. There are coaches out here that are throwing obscene NIL bags out because they don't have the ability to get them kids to the next level. Whether that next level be the G League, Europe, they don't have the ability to get their kids to the next level. So they're throwing out these obscene bags. So, and again, this is the assumption if you have a normal parent-child relationship and it ain't no funkiness going on, right? So that's going to be the bulk of the parents and kids out there. Yes, you're gonna have those few that are gonna be like, you know what, go get all the money you can get. Don't worry about your education. There's gonna be a few like that. Let's just be honest. It's gonna be a few like that. Is that gonna be the overwhelming majority? No. But that is starting to become the narrative, and that's what's pissing me off.
Yeah, because we live in a society where people don't want to work. They just want to benefit off the backs of others, even if it's their kids.
So,
see, but I don't think that's the majority.
I didn't say it's the majority. I wasn't saying it's the majority, but that exists.
No.
That does exist, and I never said it was the majority.
I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I remember we were having a conversation with Fang Exchange people when they were pretty much saying we cannot discount a lot of kids that are gifted athletes come from fucked up situations. And we're looking at it because we got adult jobs and adult salaries. And we like, bro, you gonna leave a program that could prepare you for the league, whether it be the NFL, the Canadian League, the AFL, whatever. You are going to leave a program that has actual people in multiple leagues to go to a program that has never had anybody in the league because they can pay you $6-7 grand a month. But then it's like, yeah, but they the oldest and they mama might have 4-5 kids at home, and that's $6-7 grand a month is keeping them from being homeless.
I wasn't talking about
what is it?
I'm not talking about
so, because what is it today, right? $1 today is worth more than $1 tomorrow. Time value of money. Florida A&M School of Business and Industry. So the money that I'm making right now is worth more to me now in the moment that I'm in right now than the money that I'm gonna make tomorrow. Because my siblings might be homeless if I don't get this money.
No, now, and I understand that. And I said that every situation is different. But that's why we talk about things being subjective, because a person coming from a situation like that, yeah, they're gonna need to go somewhere where they can make money now, which is why I've been a huge advocate for the NIL system. So, but there are people that are pushed into situations based on the money coming from their family members.
Yeah,
that is the thing. There are people that are getting taken advantage of in the league right now by their family members.
Well,
that end up with nothing after making millions. So this isn't an isolated
but we know that to be
situation.
true. Who was that? Bart Anderson said he was paying more rent than Hud.
Mm-hmm. But that is still the case for some college athletes as well, and that's all I'm saying. But I get it when a person needs to go and be the breadwinner for their family. And that's why I appreciate the ability the NIL gives them to provide for their family.
So here's the other part of the NIL. And again, please understand, I am pro NIL. I am pro freedom of movement and transfer portal. I do not want limits on money, right? I don't want that. What I do want is a standardized agent agreement. just like
Take
the
the agents out.
NFLPA. I don't
say
think you're
go
gonna
back
be.
to the old way. Take the agents out.
Here's why I don't want the agents taken out. Because of that school in Gainesville and that payday loan they had.
Hey, Battlezone ain't no damn better now. Hold up.
Wait,
so we have NIL, right?
Yeah.
What we need, profit sharing.
But but they already going to that.
Yeah.
And what model though?
But they're already going
to
that.
And what model though?
But honestly, I think that is more of an issue than the actual. No, what am I trying to say? No, so they named it NIL, right? Because that allowed the player to use their name, image, and likeness elsewhere, right? But if we think about with the Fab Five, Michigan made all of that money off of them, and they were not able to get anything. So the bigger issue for me, is the profit sharing amongst those P5, those P4, P5 schools with their athletes. Michigan probably still spending Fab Five money in 2025, and they got nothing.
Yeah.
And so now it's like, oh, well, since we made a big rook out of that QB, I think he was from Nebraska. I think it happened back in 2002. I can't think of his name. He was working at a car dealership and made a lot of money at a car dealership over the summer. And they tried to say he had lost his amateur status, even though he was selling cars over the summer, right? Oh, wait. Because how we know you actually sold them cars? What? So to me, that is the bigger issue to me is you honest to God had schools, nonprofit schools, Michigan, Ohio State, Florida State, because you can't tell me Florida State wasn't running to the bank with millions off of Peter Ward and Derrick Brooks. You can't tell me they would.
You want me to get his jersey numbers? I
number 9 Florida State jerseys outsold almost every jersey in college football.
Thank you. And did he get any of that?
No, because his name wasn't on it.
But we know we know why they bought that jersey. They didn't buy that jersey because of the kicker.
Exactly.
And had he wore number 33, it was still gonna sell the same.
Exactly. And you got to think about it.
Thousands of dollars that were done.
Their workarounds as far as the name, image, and likeness was to not put your name on the number.
Yeah, I had a Sam Cassell Florida State jersey with no name on the back. We knew it was Sam Cassell though.
You know it was Sam Cassell, just like when you played the college football games in the past. It had the numbers. You know who these people are. It's their likeness. And that's why the L was added.
Because it is still their likeness. We would not care about 23 if it wasn't for Jordan. We would not care about 22 if it wasn't for Cheryl Swoops. We would not care about those numbers if it wasn't for those people.
Right. Which is why it is not just the NIL. It's not just NIL.
Right. It's not just
NIL.
Image.
Yeah, because you name and image, that's a given. Right? You can't use my name unless I said it's okay. You can't use my image unless I said it's okay, but it's the likeness part.
And watch this. Skylar Diggins Smith used to wear a headband, right?
Yep.
Adidas made millions off of that headband. They went to South Bend and had her in a meeting with the Adidas rep while she was in college over the sale of that headband, and she got nothing. Money for it.
Nothing.
She got absolutely nothing for it.
You ain't doing that in 2025 though.
No, because if you call me right, hey, bring the bricks truck with you. And what made it funny, if y'all ever get a moment, Chi-Town Barbie she does some good interviews with some ball players. If y'all ever bored and just want to watch. Skylar Diggins was like, shit, I have 3 more kids just to go back and collect some back pay on some NFL.
Yeah. And we can't forget the elephant in the room. They were benefiting not off of athletes. It was black athletes
Yes,
who
it was
didn't know
always
no
up.
better. Who didn't know
It was-
no
it
better
was-
because
It was always up.
we were ignorant to the business aspect of it, but you can't do that shit no more because people have wised up, and you're not about to just keep getting over on us like that.
Do you know the story behind why the Peter Ward jersey became so big? Because if you go back and look, and this is funny, people were buying throwback jerseys of Prime number 2 with a Nike logo on it. What's the problem with that Nike logo on there? Prime never played a day in his life with a Nike logo on a jersey.
Y'all
Not
y'all was
now.
rocking Russell Athletics like everybody else did, right?
Mm-hmm. So when people
Shout
was
out to
buying that
Russell.
throwback jersey, I was like, really?
Shout outs to Russell.
Hold on, Troy. But remember, Prime was a Nike athlete for the longest
was.
until he switched
He
over to Under
was.
Armour.
The day he got drafted,
and when he signed, his agent said, if Florida State sell that jersey, you need to get paid.
We want some of that.
So they start selling out of the bookstore. They start selling a whole bunch of different other players' numbers. Charlie Ward, Peter Warwick, Lawrence Dawsey. Like there was a whole bunch of other jerseys, remember? So
Ward Dunn.
I gotta check and see. Last time I went, I didn't see. I didn't look to see if I saw a Ward Dunn.
I think I had a Ward Dunn jersey too, because my brother was the biggest Florida State fan for years.
Yo,
that's just like saying when Miami went to Nike, right? And they started selling the number 1 jersey to Jesse Armstead. Jesse Armstead wasn't on Nike, dude.
This Sean Taylor jersey I got behind me, I had to have that made. You couldn't find that jersey nowhere. I got that made at a shop in Korea.
What you got, the Miami one back there?
I have a
I got a Washington Redskin one.
I got that one.
I got one that I got the Washington Redskin one that they put out for him. And ironically, I found that bitch at Ross.
No, that's it right there. Under.
No, I see you. I got a Washington Redskin, Shante.
No, that's the one that's under them. The Redskin one is the one that's under the Miami one.
Oh.
Not the white.
You got the red. You got the red version. Yeah.
Yeah, I got the red one. I got it out of Ross, bro. I got that jersey out of Ross for $27.
I can flip my screen because I got more jerseys. I got the red Portis one right there. Like y'all can't even see all the jerseys.
I don't know why.
No, bro. I saw your folk jersey a while ago, and I was like, yeah, I gotta go ahead and buy me a house so I can get all my stuff up.
We have gone completely.
All of my stuff is like. All my stuff in boxes. Cause working with fucking Amazon all them years, I moved too much. I moved a lot. Like, I think I went from Miami to Indianapolis in like 2 years.
Jeez.
Right.
But look, a jersey wall wouldn't be complete without my jerseys on the edge.
Hey, they sold my high school jersey. I went and bought it. I got that one too.
Those my 3 jerseys.
Like, we get blue jersey. I was like, hey, don't nobody touch 33. I'm on the way. Nobody touch it.
I can't buy my high school jersey. My high school jersey number is the same as Floyd. You know, somebody that played at Florida State in the NFL, they gonna give him preference.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. I mean, you can't be mad.
You lost that one.
Yeah, I can't. I'm not mad about that. I'm not mad about that at all. But again, I say, if Tony Green honestly, is still walking this earth,
out of my high school, because they shut down Quincy Shanks, we don't have. His last name is Knight. He played for Vegas right now. He played in Maryland. He might be the most famous person out of the high school right now. Quantrez Knight.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, he went to Gas County High School. But prior to that, it will be Dexter Jackson, Super Bowl MVP.
Yep. Florida State Seminole.
Who was a quarterback, and they turned him into a cornerback.
Dexter Jackson still holds the record for most interceptions in the Super Bowl, by the way.
Yep. He was a quarterback. When Bobby Bowden came to Quincy and got him out of Quincy, he was a quarterback.
Wait, wasn't what's the name from Quincy? No.
Oh.
Played at Arizona. Why am I drawing a blank? Should be in the Hall of Fame.
I think he was.
Well, why do you figure that out? Why has Asante Samuel been on Twitter talking about he should be compared to Deion?
Because he's saying that his numbers and his picks and everything like that is
identical. He's not lying. He's not lying. The numbers are identical.
He's not, but I feel like you know what? I only watched Asante.
All pros.
That's what I'm getting. Hold on. Because Troy, maybe you could attest to what I'm saying, and maybe TP as well. Jamal, maybe too, because maybe you watched film during that time. He was playing football when we were young. I just wasn't watching football. But
yeah,
I watched Asante Samuel. There's things on the defensive side of the ball that you can't base off of statistics. So with
he
Deion,
was a scary individual.
You're talking Deion.
Defensive skill.
We talked about Deion.
No. Okay, I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah, I'm asking how was Deion? I knew Asante. Like Asante was cold.
We know what all this started over, right?
Right. Like how was Deion out there? Like aside from the picks and the things that we could see statistically, of course, was Deion what everybody says he is?
It's the athleticism, the athletic gap between Deion and Asante, which kills this argument. Although Asante Samuel had very good numbers, he had what should have been a Hall of Fame career because he still hasn't been inducted.
Right.
The eye test, when you watched Deion play, you knew he was the best player on the field.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. Okay.
Even when Jerry Rice was on the field, Deion Sanders was still the best player on the field.
Jamal, you got something to say about that?
I want to hear it.
See, that's why I asked you, Jamal, because I know you watch ball. I didn't watch. I watched basketball when I was younger, so I know more about it.
Now, I am not saying that Deion was not an athlete. That I am not saying that by what I'm about to say, right? I think sometimes we get caught up in Deion's off-field personality, and we go, he was amazing because, right, he's light years above everybody. Then why does Asante Samuels have identical numbers? He was that amazing, but his numbers, and I have watched Deion Sanders film, but I will legit sat in front of the TV every Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday because that's when you can only watch the NFL and watch Asante Samuels play, and I watch QBs avoid him at all costs. And even with them avoiding,
he's a great corner. You avoid great corners. You avoid great corners.
Still made you pay for it.
You avoid great corners. Asante was somebody to be feared by quarterbacks.
Here's the question though: do you say that Asante's success was because he was in the Bill Belichick system?
Absolutely.
As far as defensive wise,
he was a zone corner. See, this is the thing. He was a zone corner. He wasn't a man. Ty Law was a better man-up corner than Asante Samuel ever was. And he played in the same system.
And Ty Law is in the Hall of Fame. And I'm
exactly.
I'm gonna say it like this: Asante Samuel's gonna be in the Hall of Fame too.
I'm about to say Asante Samuel's gonna be in the Hall of Fame. I mean,
he probably will eventually.
Systems, and we talk about how systems benefit people, but ain't that the point?
But
ain't that the point?
You gotta look where the rubber meet the road, right? Asante Samuel was a great corner. He
We
did
watch
amazing things in that
from
system.
every draft, from every major sport, major pro league, and they gonna draft people that fit into their system. That is the point. I'm gonna draft people that match my system so I can win games. But then we go,
here's the thing,
he benefited because he played in the Bill Belichick. That was the point.
But here's the thing too.
You
Even
missing
when he
my
even
point.
when he left, but even when he left New England, he went to Philadelphia, right? And was
Yes,
still a ball hawk. He went to Atlanta, to the Falcons.
and
Even though he was in
still
his late
people
years.
avoided him.
Yeah, people was avoiding him.
He
Then
made
played-
plays. He was a
he
smart
made
football
plays.
player.
All right.
But I think what you said was spot on, because people get so caught up in the what you see on social media and stuff like that.
Dion was a personality before we even had social media.
Right. So people, I was looking at Twitter. I was like, some girls like, he's a bum. I'm like, hold on now, how you call this dude a bum right here? He got 51 interceptions and 2 Super Bowls.
No. I would never put prime and bum in the same sentence.
No, I'm talking about
anybody that's watching that's not what I'm saying.
It was the girl was talking about Asante Samuel was a bum.
No. So let's put some perspective and stuff, right? So a lot of the corner comparisons that we make is based on what we can see with our eyes and understand from a fan's perspective. So your normal, like most everybody's corners, their top 5 corners usually start like this: Dion, Rod Woodson, Aeneas Williams, and then everybody else. Because those dudes,
the wouldn't even name Aeneas Wilson.
There's a person that you just did not name.
Not name Aeneas Wilson.
Williams.
You would name Aeneas Wilson because
there's a corner that you didn't name that I would put over all of those guys as far as a lockdown corner. Who? If you was to ask me, non-biased, the greatest lockdown corner of all time was Champ Bailey.
Oh no, okay. Champ is in my Champ is in my top 5.
The greatest. I'm talking about just straight up man coverage corner. There has been nobody better than Champ Bailey.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm not talking about the other aspects of the game. I'm talking about straight up. Can he lock down this receiver? There's been nobody better than Champ Bailey.
It is, and I implore everybody to go look at the tapes.
Go watch
Rod Woodson.
They not Woodson. Because that year, Denver went to a Super Bowl.
Hold on now. I know y'all ain't disrespecting Dan Everson Walls and what he's done as a cornerback too.
Hold on, time out. So hold on.
Here we go.
we opened up a whole can because I am
Mr. Green from Washington.
Listen, again, I started out with 3 of the top 5, so everybody can mix and match or whatever. But the standard.
Where was Ty Law on this list?
Hold on.
Ty Law wasn't in the top 5. By errors, bro. We'll be here all night.
Yeah,
right.
So,
I was gonna say,
but this all started based off of a technique that Mickey Andrews taught. When Prime started talking about drop and drive instead of that T-step, there was a reason. Mickey Andrews, anybody that needed a grade boost at Florida State, you took any fundamental and techniques, enter sport name to boost your grade. I took both bowling, basketball, and football. And the one corner technique, man. I was programmed in medical science. I had it rough. But the one technique that I remember distinctly that he said, if anybody ever did anything other than plant and drive on the ball, they was coming to sit next to me. Because you don't need all that extra motion.
And what other corner mastered that? in the 80s.
All right.
He's a short guy.
Oh no, I'm gonna give Darryl Green.
Also played for Washington.
That's what I was gonna say. That's why I said Darryl Green,
Green.
Mr. Green.
But Darryl Green is in the top. Darryl Green is in my top 5. I'm trying to like give people.
Okay.
There's only 5 spots. It sounds like you got more than 5.
There's a
You
lot
got
of spots.
You got
No.
Reeves.
As
Bro,
much as
but
I
you
like
don't-
Aeneas Williams,
If
If
he's
you
not in the
if
top
you don't
5.
look at your top 5 every at some odd time and be like, maybe I need to move somebody. Come on.
Listen, my
Right.
top
Not
2
me.
don't move
Not me.
because my top 2 don't move because in their primes, Rod Woodson and Dion were the dudes. Aeneas Williams would pop in and out, but in their prime, before Rod Woodson moved to safety, in
Charles
their prime,
But you forgetting that Darryl Green was playing at the same time.
Darryl Green was playing at the exact same time. It's crazy that I'm not talking about him, but Darryl Green,
Lester Hayes.
Lester Hayes
was before his time.
Yeah.
Lester Hayes belongs in the Hall of Fame. He belongs.
He was before his time because he played in an era that they wasn't airing the ball out, so that's why he kind of gets forgotten.
Everything was still ground and
That's
pound
right.
when he played.
Because we can go as far back as Mel Blount in the Steel Curtain.
No, we should not ever go back to Mel Blount because what they was doing on the line of scrimmage is crime. It is an absolute crime.
A receiver, they didn't have to worry about Mel Blount's side of the field at any time. There was
no
nothing
5-yard
happening
choke.
over there.
Mel got his hands on you. That's the end of the play.
That play is over. He was the first corner that's gonna get in your face and you not getting off the line. He was 6'3", 200 pounds. He was before his time. Lester Hayes was 6'2", before his time.
Lester Hayes was squat down in a full squat.
Because back
does that?
Because back then the corners wasn't that big. They were fast, but they wasn't that big. This is why I say they was before their time, because we look at the corners now. We got Tariq Warren, Patrick Surtain. They 6'2", 6'3", 6'4". We got big corners that can move now. But comparing going back, the mold was 5'9" to 6 feet. That was your corner, and they better be able to run a 4.3 to 4.4. That was it. That was it.
But again, and I like to, especially with corners, because again, after your top 2, it's gonna be so many interchangeable. Asante Samuels. I put Asante Samuels and that dude that played in Tampa that somehow got into the Hall of Fame. I put them in the same mode.
Tampa.
Right.
Oh, okay. I'd agree with that.
Cover corners. I just want everybody to know, every time I say something bad about the Bucks, something happened to my internet.
No, it do.
Well, look, ain't nothing wrong with my internet, and I'm gonna say it. Asante Samuel was a great player. He understood his assignment at all times, and he gambled at times, and that gambles paid off. But a lot of that came from, so you can only get lucky so many times before it becomes skill. So that was an actual skill of his, of being at the right place at the right time. When he picked Drew Brees off to win that game, that was him being where he needed to be, because he knew based on what he saw, what the play call was about to be, and he ended that game.
That man studied film. He knew what Drew Brees was going to do before Drew Brees knew what he was going to do.
That is where preparation means
down with his mind.
Did y'all see the TikTok where they was talking about Bill Belichick made sure the players knew the offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator, like everything about them, even their kids, they step kids, because when you went into the game, the attention to detail, they might run a play that, what did they say, McVay. They said the reason that they shut McVay offense down was because he was running the same offense he ran in college.
See,
he said Bill was that detail oriented, so it's not a stretch to go, I already know what this play is. Yeah. You know these people kids, so of course you know what the coach gonna do.
But you gotta execute.
But coaches are also creature of habit, even to their damn default.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to a fault.
So, but and again, Asante Samuels, great corner. They
And I
didn't
ain't
have
taking nothing away from anything that he did. It's just I can't compare him to Dion. And part of that is their play styles aren't the same. So like if you're talking about man up corners, you can't compare a zone corner to a man corner because
It is
their
the-
assignments are usually different.
it is the reason why Richard Sherman will never be in my top 5. I'm sorry.
No,
Hey,
I
but
can't.
it's also
Yeah, I feel
but it's also a reason why Darrell Reeves will forever remain in mind.
right.
You know what I mean? It's just like,
Forever. I don't care what happens. That man is gonna be right there.
Because he was that next, or he dominated that next era. Right
that
after
man
Pippen,
Reeves
though.
was
had a
him.
5-year run that should be studied.
Darrell Reeves was him.
Before we end this conversation, and you know the people want to know my top 5, I'll give you my top 5. It's Dion.
I think we should make this a whole show one day.
Is Dion, Champ Bailey, Ty Law, Darrell Reeves, and Darrell Green. And I put Champ Bailey number 1.
You said Dion, Darrell Reeves,
Champ Bailey and Green
and Ty Law.
and Tyler.
That's my top 5. And it won't change. I don't care what these new kids doing. It won't change.
My only 2.
And you know Stingley is my guy. That's my guy.
Night Train and Charles Woodson are my only, and Rod. Those are my 3 that I'm like, all right, so where you got them, or
They in the top 10.
okay.
Oh yeah, they in the top 10.
I mean,
All right,
but honest, I feel like at a certain
that.
point, all of our top 10s are gonna look the exact same. We
Yeah,
gonna
no.
argue over top 5, but
Yeah.
we're gonna all agree that the same people should be in the top 10.
Top 10, yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's just
Give or take a name or 2
See,
based
see,
on
but does-
yeah,
does-
maybe give or take a name or 2.
Does
But
Asante make a top 10 though? That's where
No.
he does, but
No.
he does for me.
no,
because I watch.
no.
But
That's
that's
fair.
what I'm
That's
saying.
fair.
We're
That's fair.
gonna have to argue errors because I watched him play. I used to argue with people at school on Monday about Asante Samuels. Like, come on.
He not top 10 in my book.
See, my thing is like Jamal. Like me personally, like I gotta respect the Willie Browns, the Lester Hayes, and them. Like
I'm
got
not
them
saying
over
we
him.
don't respect those guys, but it's like, think about it this way, right? It's like when you got one of these YNs and they talk about their favorite rapper and they want to say, "Oh, Tupac, my friend." You how many Tupacs? But it's just, but hey, I'm being
you're right
honest.
though.
But there's still names we're
so-
forgetting. We're forgetting the greatest Eagle corner of all time. Where does Eric Allen fall on the list?
I ain't watching.
See, I don't know
I'm
much
gonna
about
be
Eric.
honest.
I don't know.
You know who I'm talking about.
But
Eric
DK, you
Allen
see what I'm
falls-
saying?
I know who Eric is, but
I know who he
I know
is.
that's before my.
But
I don't know
DK,
how
you see
far
what
before.
I'm saying now? Hey,
Yeah.
Reggie
That's what I'm
White,
saying, yeah.
the best player to ever touch a football. How many actual Reggie White games I watched? Like, I was up and watched him. None. Did I watch him on ESPN Classic?
See, but I know enough to know that he
I know
dominated.
enough about it, but I didn't live in that era. So, of course, I'm going to
The
have
first
some type
football
of kinship.
game that I can remember watching as a child was the Packers in the Super Bowl against the Patriots. So my first game ever watching, I got to see Reggie White completely dominate an offensive line. I mean, start to finish.
Okay, so like
that was the first game
for someone like me, for example. I would compare that to like a JJ Watt, like while he was doing it in that time or in real time as us as kids. That's what I would compare that to.
I still want to JJ Watt, even when he was that dude, though.
But Reggie was more.
Now he got a head coaching spot.
Yeah.
But
Reggie was him though, was he not? Like,
yeah, Reggie was him.
He was way more than what. Like JJ was cool, but
Reggie was him.
Yep. Reggie was everything that people wanted Lawrence Taylor to be.
Oh, so he
was clean cut. He
wasn't doing coat lines.
He was a pastor. He gave back to the community. Right. He had an investment bank. Like Reggie was everything.
Yeah, so he wasn't doing lines of coke at halftime and speeding with strippers.
No, not at all. And then he would come down to Tampa and completely dismantle Tampa. It didn't matter if he was playing for the Packers or the Eagles. Completely dismantled the Tampa Bay Buccaneers by himself.
And he
Sign
was
him.
another one of those guys that, you know, when we talked to Steve Berline, he gave me the rundown on the pass rushes during that era.
Yeah.
And Lawrence Taylor, he put number one because there was nothing you could do to block him. You couldn't chip him. The only thing you could do was slide your offensive line and hope to slow him down. And Reggie White was the same way. You could not chip him. I don't know how many times I've seen a running back try to run up and chip him and fall down. You out the play now.
Didn't Steve say the reason they slide protect is because of Lawrence Taylor?
He is the reason. Slide protection was birthed out of necessity to try to slow down Lawrence Taylor.
But when you have guys like that, they are going to forever be in the top 5.
Because they changed the way the game is played.
If you change the way the game was played, that freezes you as one of the greatest automatically for me in every sport.
You know why we got 2 high safeties? Jerry Rice.
Yep. Because he was going to moss the first one.
Look, you better have somebody over top.
You better because he was going to absolutely burn your first one, and he was going to walk into the end zone.
But look, here's the real reason why you had to have a safety over top. It wasn't because he was just going to outrun the corner. It was because the corner couldn't hold him one-on-one. He could run a curl route and the corner be 5 yards away from him. He run a dig route, corner out of bounds. You had to have somebody that would cheat underneath when it came to Jerry Rice. And when you have somebody cheat underneath, you better have somebody over top. That was the mode.
But they ain't figured that out until he decided to grow dreads and go to Seattle.
He had probably lost a step or two by then.
But that's when teams really started running too high safeties. They were not seriously running too high safeties when he was still in San Francisco.
Yeah, go back and watch the tape. Yes, they was. They damn sure kept a safety over top of him.
And I guess he must be Superman because he was burning them too.
Well, okay, so a couple of things about the 49ers. One, there was always Jerry Rice and another dude. So Ronaldo Nehemiah, John Taylor, the list goes on. It was always another dude on the other side. So if you shift your defense to Jerry Rice, please understand you finna give up 6. Or my personal favorite, they're gonna run the football. They're gonna have 2 fullbacks in the backfield because remember, both of them came from Nebraska. Tom Rathman was the fullback. Mm-hmm. One day we're gonna have to sit down because that dude from Stanford was a fucking genius, and we don't appreciate it. Absolute genius.
He went to Stanford. What you expect?
Man, Bill Walsh. Man.
Hey, they just fired their head coach, by the way.
They should. For a host of reasons. One, you can't. We talked about this the other day. You can't go into your staff and treat them like nobodies. You can't.
No, you can't.
You can't.
But yeah, they just fight. Ooh, it's a lot of openings. Damn, I'm late, and y'all probably already talked about it.
Hopefully, listen. The Bama State, we know about the Bama State one.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, there is no others. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say this as veiled as I possibly can. It should not be this hard to get an answer on a signed contract. It should be a very simple yes or no.
Hey, I'm gonna put it this way, and we know how I feel about it. I said it in our other group chat. Fuck them.
It is
because honest to God, the ego that you think you have, you would not have because you were a literal. People might have known you, but nobody knew you. Because if people knew you, then they would have been got you out of that NAIA school that you was in Miami with two scholarships. Mm-hmm. And you were also the AD. You were the head basketball coach and the AD. But now you got an ego and a chip. Fuck them. If you're leaving, leave. Your office ain't unpacked anyway.
I'm not there. I'll be honest with you. There has him coming in has been a comedy of errors, and it should have been rectified. And again, I understand if there are reasons why people don't want to issue out apologies. I understand Yeah, I understand there's some legal ramifications for that, but if I should not have to. It should be known. That should be. And again, I know it was said on that other podcast, but following up, do y'all know how much I hate being a journalist? When I have to do journalist shit, it pisses me off because that's not what we did this for. This is a fan-based podcast, but I need to be able to give people reliable information. And the fact that I don't have reliable information, and I'm not finna call that man up and ask him his personal business. I'm not finna do that. But the people
that's public record. That man worked for a state institution. That's public record.
But again, the fact that I can't reach out, pick up the phone and call and say, hey, is this a thing? To the people that I know. We're gonna talk about it. So all right, so let's do this then. I ain't got my email responded to since August. And then the people that told me on social media, hey, just send an email here and we'll get the interview taken care of. Do you know how bad I want to interview Coach Dimples? I want Coach Dimples on this show so bad.
No, hey, we'll talk offline. That shouldn't be a problem now.
Oh no, I know it. Yeah, I know about that situation. But oh, and that,
yeah.
Oh, let me go ahead and say this. Before we get into our little ending, I talk shit about softball and baseball more than anything else. I don't want to ever have to wait 18 hours for the other school to post a score so I can talk noise. The assistant manager should not be posting scores. And I'm not upset and disgruntled. I'm used to a certain thing. And it was the best in the SWAT. So give me back the thing that I was used to so I can get back to being a fan. Because when I give to this, anytime something get posted, I don't say nothing. I'll never have a complaint.
I gotta say something. Jamal.
Yo.
Hey. Back me up. Fuck them alley cats. Fuck them dirty cats.
So just so we clear for
everybody.
everybody.
Hope they close.
The Alley Cats beat Jackson State this weekend. And FAMU beat Bama State this weekend. So it was a lot of shout out to Trey.
They not safe on this show for nobody.
Oh man. This again, thank
Lord.
you.
Hey, tell them they might as well follow South Carolina State to D2 to the SAIC. You might save them some money. They can't even afford paper to print their degrees on, but they up here playing D1 ball.
Lord.
They ain't even got a damn football stadium.
So let me. Is that where they're going? Hold on.
Anytime you got to plan a D1 schedule around a high school, you got problems.
Oh man, that's terrible. Nah, that's low.
I got.
They Shell Stadium with
We trying to hold on. We just trying to end the show, and Jamal just threw a grenade out there. Hold on. So we talked about
ain't state secret. They ain't got no football. They ain't got a football field. And they got 20 yards worth of practice field full of sticker burrs.
I'm talking about South Carolina State. Are they going down? Oh,
allegedly, 2 schools in the MEAC are considering leaving and dropping.
Did I see this late? Did I miss this?
You did. You should have saw it this morning.
Hold on. Villanova is hiring Richard Pitino.
What?
The guy from
his son.
You talking about he coached at Minnesota. He coached the Golden Gophers.
Yeah. He should have been he was at Minnesota. He wasn't there that long though.
No, he was at New Mexico this year. Now he's going to Villanova. So the daddy and the son gonna be in the same conference.
Right, New Mexico. Right, he was in the tournament. That much I knew.
The daddy and the son gonna be in the same conference. This gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving gonna be something else.
Hey, I'm not gonna hold y'all.
But you
But
said,
I'm ready for next season's women's schedule to come out because I think I want to go to either Auburn or Ole Miss to watch Coach Vickers and Coach Yo. That's gonna be a good one.
hey,
Yo,
I'll go see that.
Yeah,
we didn't really
Coach Vickers and Coach Yo in the SEC. Yeah, I gotta go see that one.
we didn't really touch on it, but Coach Vickers has now gone to Auburn. Congratulate him on his excellent season and his
all the other
new
coaches
job.
that all the other coaches that resigned, they got that AARP pension plan today.
Yep.
Good for y'all.
Again, I don't know for sure if Alabama A&M coach has resigned, but that's the rumor.
He did. He resigned. I saw that. He out.
He
He
gone.
resigned. Yeah, he gone.
Oh,
He gone, and lady coach from Alabama State, she gone too.
Yeah. So, yeah. I'm expecting another change in SWAC basketball, men's basketball. So we'll another 2 changes in SWAC men's basketball. So we'll keep everybody posted. I will if one of the shoes drop in the next 48 hours, I will post an article about it. So don't forget to go to fatmouthsports.net to check out all the latest episodes, the clips from the podcast. We try to keep the podcast news related so that it looks like a news website, but it's the podcast. So again, all your latest news, if you want to see me act up, all of that is on fatmouthsports.net. Real quick, I touched on it earlier, and I'm able to say the C word. So right now, it looks like I do have prostate cancer. We'll get that verified with an MRI. We have to take care of ourselves. We have to take care of each other. Me and Marlo been knowing each other our whole life. And I check on him, he check on me. Like if we go a couple of days without hearing from each other, somebody go pick up the phone and call and say, "What's going on? Hey, how you doing? Whatever. It's nothing wrong with looking out for your people. Because us as men, we will sit in the middle of a problem and try to deal with it ourselves. That ain't always good. So check on your people. Again, if you have the ability to donate to a HBCU NIL, do. The Johnny Black Fund will next season shift from, instead of donating to, I'm no longer going to say, hey, what program do you want us to donate to? It's going to be, what's your NIL? Anything other than our NIL is this, we won't be donating. And it's because we need to be a force in getting people to understand what needs to happen. So that, along with, me educating people on media rights deals, that's going to be my little platform. So I want to thank everybody for all of the love, all of everybody that loves the Lawrence Taylor video. It is the strongest video we got. Y'all love them. Thank you. But again, like, subscribe, as always. That's all I got. What you got for us this week, TP?
March Madness, your bracket cooked. I just if you haven't went back and verified that your bracket was cooked, I'm just here to tell you that it's cooked. Mm-hmm. There's been a lot of upsets. There's been a lot of games that went down to the wire. There was a lot of, controversy behind a couple of them. But at the end of the day, the tournament's been great so far. And I'll be out in a second, dude. His charger isn't working for his tablet. Lord,
if ain't nobody fix it but Dad, so he went
right. Yeah.
What I was saying, I don't remember the last time we seen all 4 ones make it to the Sweet 16, but they're here now.
It's a little chalkish this year.
Yeah. So like the number ones are taking care of business. I think a lot of the twos are taking care of business. So it's gonna be very interesting to see because I think in recent years we've had a lot of 12s and 11s and 9s make it to the Sweet 16. But I think when you look at the grand scheme of things, this is the most evenly matched Sweet 16 we've probably ever had. So the finish is going to be everything that we expect it to be. If I was a betting man, I'm betting Auburn goes all the way. They look unstoppable right now. Houston looks damn near unstoppable right now. They got some unfinished business from last year. So I can really see it coming down to Houston versus Auburn. They're on opposite ends of the bracket, so they could potentially end up being the championship matchup. So we'll see what comes to pass Thursday and Friday, Sweet 16. Tune in. Should be some good games.
Auburn look like some crack babies.
They don't look beatable. I'm sorry.
Fuck Auburn. And Houston gonna be right behind them. I hate to say this, and this is going against all my laws.
Wait, why you want to knock off my number one?
Even watching ACC basketball, but I think Duke has a better chance of winning the whole thing before any of them other schools win it.
Talk to him, Don. Talk to him. Got the best player in the country. Yes, sir.
We'll see.
We gonna make it happen.
We will see.
Oh, my bad too. Fuck Duke too. So
what, Doc? After what you just said, that was crazy.
Hey, I'm just speaking logic, but my hatred for Duke extends far and long and beyond.
Look, we got to get over this Christian Leitner business. All right, this is long gone.
No.
We ain't forgot.
Yeah, oh my God.
No.
But that's my time. We'll be talking more football Thursday. We gotta, the top 5 list. We might have to start. We're gonna look at all positions. I even talk about some offensive line. I got my top 5 O linemen.
Yeah.
We break it down even further: the tackle, guard, or center, which they each got their own category because their jobs are, they're special. But we'll get to that at a later date.
All right, Doc, what you got for us this week?
Tomorrow afternoon, I should be having Coach Keaton from Clark Atlanta on the show. He ain't no stranger. He's been a guest on the show plenty of times. And we're going to try to get a preview. We're going to get a preview of his football team for this season. And then after that, we got some, on Thursday, I got a bone to pick with some folks about want to drag a certain person on social media because he got way more views and likes and clicks and money than all these bastards put together. And I just need a thing of Saratoga water, a bowl, and some ice.
The spook is coming.
Oh,
the
Lord,
is
he was
coming.
ready for it.
They try to roast my dog, man. He an Alcorn alum, he in a swag, he an ACC alum. You know what I'm saying? Rivals try to put his little stats on there, like, dude, half of you motherfuckers won't even get on the field with this dude. You know what I'm saying? And he from Florida. He from Jacksonville.
That man went to First Coast. Don't.
I don't know about First Coast, Sun Coast, or West Coast, whatever.
First Coast is ain't that Tim Tebow school?
Yeah, no, Tim Tebow went to Sandalwood, but it's kind of like it.
Yeah.
Third Coast, homie.
But that's what I got, man. And still, fuck dude, in Auburn.
All right. Before everybody, just give everybody a heads up. So what he's talking about is the fruit facial ice plunge that the dude did with his face and the workout.
That man had a bowl of water at the basketball court.
And listen, I'm going to do the spoof. There will not be a white woman involved. If you know why,
If you
you know
it's
why.
good for you.
If you know, you know. So, but
Then
there will be a
I'm
spoof.
gonna hear it on the news. Troy White was last seen uh, uh, getting drowned in a bowl of iced Saratoga water by his dead wife
In loving memory.
in loving memory.
R.I.P.
Put that nigga on the shirt.
Some
Oh,
clowns.
Oh, but DK, what
Oh,
you got
my
for
bad.
us this week, man?
Hey, I forgot one more thing. We got to talk about this on Thursday too. Who told Luke Campbell that he the king of checking in Miami?
Oh, we getting on that, yeah. Yeah, we getting on that. We
Oh,
getting
Oh
on
yeah,
that on
that's Thursday. That's for
That's on
Thursday because
Thursday.
we've been cooking that man since he decided to post that too.
Like his name Big U. Oh, I guess you gonna be the feds coming after you too again now, huh?
Like the number of rappers that they got caught up in the RICO and you talking about check in, nigga, are you okay?
Yeah,
Oh,
we what is say we discussed over Cuban coffee. Man, you don't get your ass up out of my face.
what you got for us, DK? What you got for us?
I'm gonna just try to be quick. Over the last couple of weeks, haven't been able to be on the podcast. Face a little bit of adversities. March, like with the timing of March Madness and everything, gotta face a little bit, or I had to face a little bit of adversity rather, and it's what I learned throughout the short time I've been on this earth. I've gone through a little bit of it. It's what are you gonna do? How are you going to get back up? It's not what happened. It's how are you going to progress and be better through this adversity that you're facing. So I'm cool now. It's just little things with the work schedule. I should be back here and good to go. But it kind of looms in light to like what Troy was talking about and what he got going on, and just with March Madness, because I've seen a lot of crazy stuff, of crazy comebacks, crazy stories, even with the women's game or women's tournament. There was a girl from Alabama. I don't think she had a crazy first half, but she turned it on in the second half, and she had like 43, and they ended up losing the game somehow to Maryland. In like a double overtime game, I think.
They lost because Jay Green fouled out, and that's a hill I'm ready to die on.
Man, I mean, there was a lot of players that fouled, but that's what I'm talking about, like facing adversity. There was both teams are facing it. The other team's best player fouled out too. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna lay down and let that adversity take over what you got going on, or are you gonna try to gather what you got and try to be successful through it all? So I know I'm out of it. I'm out of my what I had to go through, but there's a lot of tournament left for some of these teams, and let's see if everybody got some fight. So that's my time for this week.
Jamal, what you got for us, sir?
I got a lot, but I gotta go out comical, but I gotta err right now on the side of what needs to be said. Like Unc said, take care of yourself. Honestly, for all the men out there, just being open and honest, because these are conversations we need to have out in the open amongst each other. Go talk to that lady. Go talk to that man. Go find an office that you are comfortable in and have the conversations that you need to have. Finding a person that you trust and you want to build that relationship with is not easy. I am currently on therapist number 3. I fired one fired me, and that is perfectly okay because I kept going until I found somebody that I could talk to. I've currently been seeing this lady like 2 years. In my life has been amazing. I can manage my emotions. I understand how to regulate me. I understand when I need to step away. I understand when it's okay to grind and pound away, and when it's okay to go take a nap and start over again tomorrow. Those things are okay. We need to get to that point where we are all at that point, because too many of us are dying young when we don't have to. It is okay to not be okay. but it is not okay to remain not okay when we live in an era where we have access to things to help us.
Amen. Amen.
All right. Now,
Oh, boy.
chaos.
Oh, yes. Yes. Oh, and the
I
laugh
love
to go with
basketball.
it.
Basketball is my thing. I remember I put it in our group chat. I was watching Colorado State and Maryland when Buddy went up for a 2 at 0.3 seconds. And I was like, oh, Colorado State just knocked off Maryland.
No,
And
and
in 0.2
I looked at it, I smiled. I'm like,
Maryland
oh,
said,
you wrong, Jamal.
nope. But this is what it is all about. It's watching these games go down to the wire. Is looking at people who have put together a total body of work from November to March to say, hey, I deserve to play ball with the big boys. I deserve to be here. And I'm saying that for all of my HBCU kids. Basketball ain't football. You can take Howard to a Sweet 16. You can take Norfolk State to a Sweet 16. Hell, if FAMU gets some stability, we can go to a Sweet 16. You do not have to give up your safe space at Howard's and Norfolk States and FAMU's to go and play ball at Butler in the middle of Indianapolis and white as hell Indiana because you're trying to make it to the league. You ain't got to do that because basketball ain't football. Prayers up for Juju Watkins. I do not believe that was a malicious foul by Mississippi State. I honestly think it was the run of the mill. She planted to pass or go up, and her knee gave up. I don't believe that was malicious at all. I do believe she'll be back and better. Unfortunately, I highly doubt the NCAA give her a red shirt for this year because the season is technically about over.
Yeah.
Now,
my question is, though, with her, let's say she sits out all of next year, does she then become eligible for the WNBA draft?
So WNBA
if
draft,
she would want to.
So WNBA draft pretty much say you got to be 21. They don't care what you do in those years, but you got to be 21. The first and currently, I think the only player to not honestly graduate college and leave early was Jackie Young. She left Notre Dame at 21, and she was the number 1 draft pick. So we don't know. Let's see what happens. I honestly think she's a world-class talent, but I'm not gonna hold you. I'm gonna put her in the same category as Caitlin Clark if she don't win the ring. Rings mean things. I don't give a damn how high your shooting percentage is and how many points you score if you can't win the championship, because what's the point?
Because my thing is, like, with her specifically, right? With Caitlin, we knew that there was possible flaws in her game, stature, build, all that type of stuff. You could kind of poke holes in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
With Juju, I feel like she's a little different. Like, we've had some, like, the Candace Parkers, like, Candace was a little bit bigger. She was like, no. I'm saying, like, in terms of build and skill wise, she was a little bit taller. She was like 6'6", 6'7" right? If I'm not mistaken. So Juju kind of got all of that. She could play defense. She's physical, got great handle, could shoot, all that. Yeah, she might not get that ring, but she's a damn good player, damn good ball player.
She is a damn good player. The only thing that saved her is I think she won 3 high school titles. That's the only thing that's completely saving her from me looking at her like Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark has 0 championships at any level currently.
I mean, and what if USC win this year?
And I'm saying currently because Indiana is trying to put a team around her that can make a run deep. That's why I'm saying currently. And I also don't believe that she won't ever win. That would be completely ridiculous of me and dumb. She's going to end up with a gold medal. She's going to win an Olympic gold medal, and she is going to win a WNBA championship at some point.
I think she
last thing.
I think she might win one.
Hold on, Doc.
You think she might win one win
in the next couple of years?
Yeah, they are trying to put a team around her that can compete and win. I'm looking at the squad that they putting around her right now, and I'm like, hey, this team pretty good. I'm looking at the coaching staff. The head coach came from technically he's from Grant Popovich's coaching tree because he coached under Becky. They went and got Courtney Parrish. If you don't know Courtney Parrish, Bubba Parrish is her daddy. I think she still leads the NCAA in double. She went to college at Oklahoma. He went out and got the lady that coached the Nigerian national team. I cannot think of her name. She's also on the coaching staff in Chicago right now. Chicago is also putting together a team of headhunters. I'm looking at the work that Chi-Town Barbie has put in with Lisa Leslie right now. She gonna be dangerous.
Look, they got my girl Lexi Brown over there.
Right, they gonna be dangerous. But this is my last thing. The only reason why Alabama did not knock off Maryland is because Maryland has Brenda Freeze. Brenda Freeze got 3
nations. She was
and she was in her bag. That was a straight up coaching clinic. Because the Alabama head coach ain't Brenda Freeze. And like always, punch a Nazi and crash the fuck out when people got you fucked up. I'm Lord Jamal.
Well, for everybody that came in to the Madness Basketball Podcast, appreciate you. Again, check us out at watch.fatmouthsports.net. You can always donate to our PayPal. Keep the stream free. We're out.